Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about an update on Mercedes after the team got its 26 car out on track for the first time, as well as McLaren's testing plans. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X and Instagram at James's Pit Lane. I'll leave links in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with McLaren. Now, as we know, next week will be the first pre-season test of 2026, and that will be held in Barcelona. Now, teams may only use 3 of the 5 days to run their cars freely at the Barcelona test, but McLaren has elected to skip the opening day in the process. Motorsport.com say that instead, the team will spend the days ahead of the test getting its car back from the AVL facilities in Graz, where the MCL 40 has been put through its paces on the Austrian engineering company's dyno. Now, speaking about why McLaren will not run on the opening day of Formula 1's behind closed door test at Barcelona, McLaren team boss Andreas Stella said, as quoted by Motorsport.com, "We plan to start testing either in day 2 or day 3, so we will not be testing in day 1. We wanted to give ourselves as much time as possible for development. You may know that you are allowed to test 3 days over the 5 that are available in Barcelona, and then we will start from either day 2 or day 3, and we will test for 3 days. So yeah, McLaren will still get their full testing time, but interesting that they'll miss the opening day of the test. It looks like McLaren are going really aggressive with their development for 2026. And Stella explained that the dynamic nature of the 2026 design process informed the decision to push back the team's running to the last moment, with Stella going on to say, "Actually, this was always going to be plan A, to hold off on running. There's also so much of a change that we don't need to be necessarily the first on track. We wanted to give, like I said before, as much time as possible for development, because every day of development, every day of design was adding a little bit of performance. This also means that if you're early on track, you will have the reassurance of knowing what you need to do as soon as possible, but at the same time, it means that you might have committed to the design and realization of the car relatively early. So you will have a compromise against development time and ultimate performance." But let's move on to Mercedes, which has revealed its 26 car, the W17. Now, as we know, in the ground effect era, Mercedes were not able to compete for the title after years of dominance. But in 2026, Mercedes has long been tipped as a favourite because of paddock rumours that its development for the new engine regulations was going extremely well. And well, now we've got to look at the car for 26, and in terms of the livery, I think it looks really nice. It's not too different from what we saw in 2025, but what is noticeable is the grille type design on the side pods, which I think looks really nice. Now, Mercedes also did a shakedown with its new car at Silverstone. Basically, just hours after unveiling the car on social media, George Russell put the W17 through its paces, running Pirelli's Groove demo tyres. And the German manufacturer utilised the first of its allocation of 2 annual promotion event days, which grants teams 200 kilometres of running on each day. Now, when you look at the Mercedes car, there are a few things to note, with the race saying that Mercedes has opted for a pushrod front and rear suspension configuration. Like most teams we have seen so far, it has a medium-sized shaped dive plane on the outside of the front wing end plate, whereas some have gone for larger winglets and developed a more intricate forward fence for its launch car. But the side pod shaping is clearly different behind that narrow inlet. While most cars feature downwashing side pods that fall away at the rear, Mercedes side pod rises again at the back, which could become a point of distinction if this is the real design. Now, when it comes to Mercedes, one thing that's been spoken about a lot is the compression ratio in the engine. This year, the ratio has dropped from 18:1 to 16:1, and that compression ratio is measured when the engine isn't running and is therefore cold, while it's believed that Mercedes and Red Bull have found a way to make their engines run at higher compression ratios on the track using materials that expand under heat. And the matter has been discussed between the FIA and teams on Thursday, but one thing to note is that with the engine designs having been locked in for a long time now, it's going to be very hard for the engine design to change for any manufacturer. Now, speaking to motorsport.com at the Autosport Business Exchange in London, the FIA single-seater director Nicholas Dombazis said the FIA was keen to resolve the matter before the start of the new campaign, with him saying, "I think it's obvious we need to be careful about such matters. Compared to the past, we are far more conscious that we want teams to have the same interpretation of the regulations. So we are very keen to avoid such controversies and to make sure that when people go racing, they understand the rules in exactly the same way. Inevitably, when there's such a new set of regulations, certain things do come up, and we take the view that it is our responsibility to resolve these matters before the first race." Now, motorsport.com say that several parties are urging the FIA to take action if it feels that some are not interpreting the rules fairly. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care.